Good morning, everyone. Myself, A. Durga Bhavani, working as assistant professor in CSC department at Marri Laxman Reddy Institute of Technology and Management. I am here to tell you about a data science subject. So, first of all, before entering into a subject, I would like to tell you something introduction part about a data science. So, in regular terms, data is nothing but a raw facts. So, here data science is nothing but how we are analyzing those raw facts and how we are exploring them and how we are making that raw facts or raw data into a structured as well as unstructured format. For example, let me tell you that whenever I am having some kind of a information of employees and salaries as well as their employee IDs. So this entire thing I'm having in a textual representation. So this textual representation, I want to make them to a structured form. That is nothing but a tabular form. So when I'm making it into a tabular form as compared to a textual, I can easily estimate how many members of employees were there, what is the salary and what are the sequential IDs of their employee. So in this way, I can easily estimate. But till what consistency I can estimate. So making the raw data into a structured as well as unstructured form is very easy. But in normal way, it is very easy. But when we are coming to a digital information, wherever we see, we find a lot of data. So that data has to be retrieved, and that retrieved data has to be useful for a user. So let us take the example of a different kinds of search engines. So when I am telling different kinds of a search engine, first if I want to analyze something about some kind of information, let me give a keyword like a mouse. So when I am typing in a search box like a mouse, I will get different kinds of links. So different kinds of HTTP links. So actually what kind of data the user exactly need. So whether he is estimating about a electrical mouse or whether he is estimating about a animal mouse. So it might be different kinds of information, but definitely we can find the first priority is given to a technical terms of information. So it is going to be prioritized. So who is going to prioritize different kinds of links? So how we can estimate? So while clicking each and every web link, how the user is getting the information? So what he required? So those entire thing, the approach, the study of the entire data, different kinds of data is the work of a data scientist. So let me show you the picture in the introduction where you can find. So here you can see different kinds of data where you can find here. So it can have a statistical analysis as well as the bar charts, pie charts, wherever it is. So the exact definition you can find as data science is a interdisciplinary field that focus on extracting the knowledge from data sets. As I told you, so we have a huge amount of data. So from a huge amount of data, we has to extract that data. So which the user is requesting or the user is supposed to analyze, understand the data. For that information, needed information, he want to access. Next, so there are different, so when we go with a deep study of data science, so we have different kinds of data. So small example is nothing but regular usages, raw data as well as a structured, unstructured, and to make this a structured, unstructured data, we are using a different kinds of technologies as well as different kinds of scientific methods. So in order, so what are the tools we are using? So based on that tools, we are accessing those entire information. So we are using a different kinds of algorithms. So we are using a data mining techniques there, data search engines. So different kinds of mining techniques we are using to extract raw data. Then after extracting the raw data, we are analyzing, we are making that raw data to a structured as well as a unstructured format. So let me tell you the small example, like as we go through about data structures, which we can study in your professional education. So where there you can see different kinds of algorithms. So there you can see trees as well as graphs also, by binary search, etc, etc, different kinds of algorithms you can see. So how you are making the different kinds of algorithms, so how we, by that algorithm, so what kind of data you are getting. So the main motto is nothing but, so from where you are extracting the data and whether the extracted data is useful for you and it is meaningful or not. So in order to justify that, the main definition is data science. The main motto is data science. So going to our next slide. So here, when the let us take one small project. So when we are going for some industry, so some customer has attended for a industry MNC company. That time he was telling his requirements. So while he was telling his requirements, the first we will analyze about what are the requirements. So how we want to understand that, estimate the cost, the structure, the modeling, the complexity, the problem, we can estimate all those things. So based on this thing, we can create one raw structured form. Then while coming to analyze, while coming to a processing data, we can estimate, so how each and every requirement what we have gathered, it can be analyzed. So here you can see, so first of all, to make the customer more effective as well as attractive, and to satisfy the customer, we are using a visualization mottos or visualization techniques, because while we are showing some kind of a textual information, he cannot understand each and every concept, or he cannot understand what is the internal view, how exactly the project has to be reflected. For that purpose, we are using a visualization techniques. So based on that visualization technique, you can create a raw data into a different kinds of scenarios. And here you can see the workflow of a data science. So as I told you in the starting point, first the source information, where we are getting the source information means entirely we are getting from a raw data. So here that means the main motto is, already you have a data, that already existed data, you are making into a structured as well as a unstructured format in an organized way, where the whenever you want the data, you has to retrieve that data with the security, okay, and you has to explore that data also. So here you can see a diagrammatical representation here. The first thing, you can have a source data here. So first, from where we are extracting that source data, that means here one more example let me give you. So suppose I have a car which I want to remodel that car. So here what happened, that means that car is treated as a raw data. What I am having, I want to remodel that car, that means I want to maintain, change the color, steering, tires, etc, brakes, the speed, etc, etc, all those things, okay. So that means what, already the data is present in kind of a structured format. Again I am exploring the data, I am adding extra features for that, then I am creating a new model. Same way for this, that means to do entire process we need some kind of a technology. While doing this, some problems may analyze. Who will solve that problems? The data analyzer will solve that problems. How he will do? Means first of all, when raw data is there, that time he will analyze like what is the complexity of that particular raw data and what is the data statement and what is the requirement, what is the problem statement, everything he will analyze. Then after that he will explore that data. So more clearly here you can see. So first thing is a source data you are extracting. From raw data you are extracting, then afterwards it is processed. So process means, so as I told you the car, so first of all you want to repaint it, you want to clean it. So what is the dust it is? So in the same way, some kind of miscalculations in your raw data which is unwanted, so that time you want to do processing, that is nothing but a cleaning process. So that process, so cleaning the unrelated information, removing the unwanted information is nothing but a data processing. Then after removing unwanted information, now you can see, just like just now I told you, car, while you are painting you are cleaning, then you are putting a paint means again it will comes to a new lip, that is nothing but a modeling. Then how it is applicable for your technical specification? Modeling means you are creating, you are adding some extra features for a already existing data, and some new product is going to be developed or new application is going to be developed. Then afterwards, so whatever the car you have cleaned, you have painted, you have changed entire the parts, then you are exploring, that means you are seeing that first of all you are seeing whether any kind of mistakes or mismatch is present in that structure. So in the same way, in technical terms, after creating the data you are checking whether any kind of thing is there, then it is going to be deployed. So deployed means it is supposed to show to a, he will check, he will monitor whether whatever the requirements he has given to you, whether you are satisfying all the requirements or not. So this is the entire workflow. So how the data is analyzed from a raw data and or converted to raw data to a some monitoring data. So how it is converted? So this is the process. So our next topic is services. So what are the services? So services is divided into two types. So first one is a computing and next one is a storage. As I gave you the example of a remodeling of a one existing car. So here when we are getting the old car in some kind of a garage, that is nothing but some kind of a memory allocation. So that means it requires some storage space. So when you are getting raw data also, that time also it requires some storage. So here coming to a technical terms or we can see the first thing, we are getting some kind of a file storage specification. Then we are using some kind of a services for that. Then which kind of technique you want to use, for what purpose you are using a technique to convert that raw data to a metadata, that means which the user can use for their next versions. Okay, so for that purpose we are analyzing about the services. So this is a storage purpose only. So first we will store the raw data in a file, then that particular raw data is going to be analyzed. So that means the cleaning process as well as the modeling process, this both processes are going to be done in a data service. Okay, then afterwards version means, so what kind of algorithm, what kind of technology we are using for converting the raw data into a understandable data. okay, or documentation purpose. Okay, so this is an internal storage process. Then what about a computing? So here you can see Jupyter as well as a job queue, computing graphic, experiment manage as well as a monitoring dashboard. So in a starting I have shown you one screen, the introduction screen, you can see. So here what is having, so here you can see all the structures. So what are the different kinds of data where we can use, how it will be displayed, how the user is so here first, so this is nothing but a one kind of a, wherever we have extracted data, so what kind of data, how we are analyzing, how we are managing. So first, for example, if we have 10 lines of a document, so we will check line by line each and every line in a document. In the same way, just like take an example of operating system also, when you are using a process scheduling algorithms, each and every algorithm, so when one process is entering, then after completing that process, next process will enter. So that means till that time it will be in a job queue. Okay, so like that only here also. So when you are analyzing about a one file, next file will be in a storage space. Okay, then afterwards that you are making into a structure form, that is nothing but some kind of a graphical representation. Okay, so small example, one more thing I can give you, just first MS Word, then Excel. So suppose if I have employee data in a Word document, I am converting that to a tabular form. Then with that tabular form, more attractively if I wanted to do, I will make that tabular form to a bar charts, pie charts, like that. So that like that only this also. See, wherever you are using also, you has to maintain the storage space. So these are the two services in the internal storage as well as the external. So internally this is a process what you are happening, like storing a file, doing a services for that file and applying some kind of a version, getting your metadata. And how this is applied for your external, that means visualization screen for a customer satisfaction. If you want to show to a customer, if you want to visualize that data, this is a process. So whatever the process is happening here, from where we are extracting this entire, till that service is going to be completed, it will be stored in a job queue. Then afterwards it will be moved to a graphical representation. Then based on that experimental result, then finally we are getting what is the metadata or on a dashboard. And this is a life cycle of a data science. So life cycle of a data science means, so this is a semantic representation, so where you can easily analyze. So always the first stage is defining the problem. So first, so when I told that garage, so what is the problem? It is a dirty car, so you have to give a new look. So that means you have to estimate, you have to explore that data, already existed data, you want to explore it. So that's why first you are analyzing the problem or defining the problem. Next, you are collecting all the related information to solve that problem. Okay, but whenever you are collecting all the informations, it is not sure that definitely the it will suit or not. So for that purpose, you are collecting all the information. That is the second step. Then whatever the information you have collected, you are maintaining one kind of a preparation table or chart, whatever you can tell. Okay, then whenever you have prepared, then it is going to a exploration. Okay, then after going to exploration, you are going to a modeling, then it is going to a evaluation process, then afterwards it will go to a deployment process. Okay, so for each and everything you can take a small example also, so how you are remodeling the existing car and showing to a customer. So first, in a business also, that is nothing but in order to maintain this data, first you have to understand the problem. Next, you want to collect related information and explore that data. Next, prepare. You have to prepare that particular data which is already existed. With that, you have to prepare one file. Then you want to process that data. Next, build and validate the models. Build and validate the models means, so whatever I have collected the data from a raw facts, I have explored, I have cleaned it, and I have prepared and I have processed it. Then I got one structure format. Then I'm analyzing whether it is fine for a customer visualization or not. Then if it is a fine in this state, then I will deploy. If it is not fine, again I will try to remodel that data. So in order to do all these things, we should have a one analyzer, so which we are calling him as a data scientist. So data scientist, he will collect all the raw data and he will understand the complex problems, and to analyze, he will hand over to an analyzer. That is nothing but a, see here you can see the definition. Data scientist helps organization understand and handle data, then address the complex problems. So if any kind of a problems has occurred while analyzing the data or while managing the data, who will solve that? The data scientist will solve the problems. So by using some kind of a knowledge as well as a technology or tool. So the main skill is a data analysis. Okay, so the main role of data scientist is to analyze the data. So analyzing the data means whether, so which is a good information, so which you can make a structured form, where is the problem has occurred, so how you has to solve, how is to manage, how you has to secure, all those things, analyzing the data with the existing data, that is the major work of a data scientist. So, and analyze and business acumen and programming to extract insight from a data and help the organization to make a decisions. So, whenever you want to maintain some kind of a data with a structured form and with a security or protected form, you need a data scientist. So you have to check whether he can analyze, he is a problem solver or he is an analyzer and he can explore and give a good data specifications. And these are the different kinds of tools used to analyze data. So first is a basic thing is a R programming language and Python, SQL, Hadoop as well as a Tableau. So where it is applicable, so where you are using, so as nowadays we can see everywhere the data is present. So just in a healthcare, e-commerce, manufacturing, agents as well as the transportation, education, etc, etc, wherever it is, in everywhere the data science is applicable. So because everywhere information is present, everywhere raw data is present, you want to make that raw data to a structured format, or whatever the unstructured format is that you want to maintain into a secure format where it should not lose any kind of information. So these are the reference links where you can find the related information. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.